So over the last few days, I've been trying to figure out who it was that had voted with Charles in the last tribal council to attempt to get me out of the game. And it wasn't really that big of a deal. I was just really curious about who could have thought that Charles was more deserving of staying in the game than I was. I'm not saying I'm like this amazing player or anything, but I like to think that I was slightly better than Charles and a lot less dramatic, because seriously, that kid, all he does is bitch. So he needed to be out of the game. But obviously there's one person on our tribe that didn't think so. So I was doing a little bit of investigative research, and I asked a few people who they had voted for, and it turned out that I had 7 people collectively saying that they had voted for Charles. But only 6 people voted for Charles, according to the tribal council thread, including the hidden vote that Josh claimed. So somebody was lying. Eventually I got out of Andy that she had been the one that voted for me, despite the fact that at first she said that she voted for Charles. And I guess she said it was accidental, that she had made up votes for both Charles and myself and decided that she would send in whichever one ended up being the majority vote. So come time for her to send in her tribal council vote, she sends one in, I guess not sure which one it is that she's sending, and it ends up being the one that's for me. And she didn't realize that she had sent one in for me until like the day that I asked her about it. Like, she didn't even look at the tribal council thread. And she didn't even realize that people had been voting for her. Like, she was shocked that people voted for her, despite the fact that she hasn't been showing up for challenges or contributing to them or really anything. I mean, she showed up the day before the last tribal council and started talking to people. Conveniently. Luckily, there was the Charles drama, otherwise she would have been gone. So yeah. So she either is lying to me and really wanted me out, or she is paying such little attention to the game that she doesn't even realize what votes she's sending in for tribal council, which is really lame. To top it all off, I can't even get her voted out because I'm in an alliance with her. Me and Cynthia are having to protect her on our tribe because we're in an alliance. So my second option was to vote for KJ, but KJ got kidnapped by the other tribe, which is just peachy keen for us, considering KJ is like oblivious most times. I mean, she's really sweet, she's really good for morale, but she just doesn't know up from down sometimes, which is fine. Some people just aren't made for strategic games, but I don't know. It was just odd to have Andy tell me that. And then to have KJ kidnapped was just the icing on the cake. So now we're having to figure out who we want to vote for, even though our 2 easiest options are out of the picture. So I wanted to vote Aaron out because I suspect an alliance between him and Kyle, and he's also been bitching about the fact that he's been, you know, helping a lot and contributing a lot and all this stuff, and we're still failing. And that he contributed a lot to the last challenge, the video challenge, even though he didn't. He's taking credit for stuff that he didn't do. And so I'm just like, dude, you know what? It's one thing to want to save yourself, it's another thing just to make crap up. Like, don't do that. We're not stupid. Give us a little more credit than that. Blah. So to take it one step further, he starts accusing Josh, not accusing Josh, but going around telling people that he thinks that Josh threw the challenge, that Josh intentionally didn't get back to us quickly with the fact that he couldn't use his video camera. And I will admit that for a second I assumed the same thing, that he may have thrown the challenge intentionally, but after like a minute of thought I realized that wouldn't be the case, and that Josh was legitimately trying and that he was having a hard time with his camera. So sorry, Josh, but it was just a moment. Anyway, but Aaron is legitimately gunning for Josh. Like, he legitimately thinks that this happened, and he's paranoid that he's gonna get voted out, so he's running with it. He's telling everyone, Josh threw the challenge, blah blah blah. Whatever, Aaron, he didn't throw the challenge. So I'm trying to get Aaron eliminated, and Cynthia's on board with that. And so we talked to Josh, and Josh is like going back and forth saying that he wants Kirsten voted out because Kirsten is not around much. And so we tell him about the Aaron thing, and he still wants Kirsten out because Aaron's an active player. So we're going back and forth on that. Hopefully I can get Kirsten on board with us, and we'll have a 4-vote. Me, Cynthia, Kirsten, and Andy. Hopefully. So that's where we're at with that. I'm still really bummed that we lost that video challenge. Like, Ben worked his ass off on that video, and in like with 0 notice, because it was already 8 p.m. my time by the time Ben came around and said that he would start working on the video. So he had like 0 time to get that thing done, and he did a great job on it. So I'm really proud of him for getting that done, and of me and Kyle and Cynthia for getting the script together. So go us, we rocked it. So yeah, it was an interesting challenge. I'm still really mad that we lost. Like, ours was legitimately funny. It may not have matched the original, but it was freaking hilarious. So I don't even care. Well, here's to hoping we can win the next one, because I don't feel like going to tribal council again, because we don't need to lose any more players, because we already suck enough without losing all of our players. So yeah, till next time.